Okay, we're here with Father Niall talking about the Base Education Centre in Vatukoula in the Solomon Islands. Father Niall, hello.
Good afternoon, Simon.
Would you like to tell us why it's important for this education centre and what benefit it will bring?
Well, we have already started this course down here at Tanagai, the Marist Missionary House at Tanagai, and we see that it is effective. Now, what interested me to begin this course was to hear people coming down the road just about 20 yards away from here, shouting and screaming and yes, acting in a very angry way. And the reason, I began to think, what's the problem? And then I realized that, look, these people are frustrated. They are push-outs or they are dropouts from the educational system. Perhaps they have done a primary school because that was free and they didn't have to pay fees, but they can't get into the secondary school for one reason or another, and so they're going to take it out on the society. They're going to beg, borrow or steal whatever they can get. That's what I feel. So I felt it was my duty to do something about it. Being a teacher since the 1962 when I came to the Solomon, I have had a lot of experience, and when I was asked to retire here during the tension period when the people of Guadalcanal and Malaita were fighting each other, I was asked to come here to reside here or retire here. Well, I couldn't feel like retiring, and so when I saw this going on, it made me feel, well, I'm a teacher, I better do something about it. So really that was the beginning of what I started here. By going up to the villages, we call it Vatukoula. The first course that I do is sitting around a table. We can only take 9 at a time. And a book by the name of Intermediate Comprehension Passages by a man called Don Byrne, an excellent book of stories, simple stories in English. And that was the best way to give them the shock treatment, learn about English in context stories. After that, they go into a next room and they do a follow-on course where they get down and they use step-by-step books. They're called by Raymond Murphy. They are called the Essential Grammar and Use books. And I have a Sister Maureen, helping me at that work. So she's able to see how they're doing with the books. Once they know how to use the books, then they go ahead themselves. And then Sister Maury will give them further help. So the work that I especially am interested in the villages is to try to help to raise the standard, the literacy standard of English literacy standard of these people, because most of them have just stopped after primary school. And everything in the paper. I keep everything quiet here, because the trouble is, when we start a course with 9 people around a table and 29 come to turn up to do it, then I've got problems. So everything is kept very quiet. And there's a registration day put up, and they come here in the registration day, and if there are 29 or 30 people or whatever come to do a course which will only accommodate 9 people, I put all the names in a hat and I pick out 9. So,
good. We have Sister Maureen here who's going to explain to us how she runs her English literacy course.
Good afternoon, everybody. I take the advanced group in here, following the basic 6 weeks course. They graduate into this classroom, and here they can stay up to 2 years. Now, the reason why it's limited to 2 years is that every 6 weeks there's another 9 joining us, and we get 9 and 18 and 27, and it goes on, and we can't cope with too many. We found that they were very keen on the poetry. Simple things like John Masefield's poems, or you know, I must go down to the sea again, the lonely sea in the sky. It suits the culture very well. And those types of poems with stories and colour in them, they love it. And the rote learning off by heart, they really enjoy it. Now, after the 2 years, they move out, and we've been really heartened by the number who have been able to get into the basic course at University of the South Pacific, and some have managed to get jobs. We give them a reference and they can get work. And last year, one fellow even got a scholarship to go and study English as a second language in Sydney, which was a thrill. So I think that's perhaps about all that I can share with you and your listeners.
Hello, here we are with Knut, one of the potential teachers of the school for adults. Knut, can you tell us why is it important that we have this school in your community?
Yeah, I will tell you a story about education here in the Solomons. You can see lots and lots of dropout students in the Solomons. That's a cause of too many problems like drinking and marijuana smoking and misbehavior and disorder in the community. So NGOs and church authorities building rural training centers for the dropouts, and we can see that the rural training center are doing well. Except let's say reports about let's say 4 students out of 4 students come out from a rural training center. We find out that only one is using what he is learning. 2 just go roam around in town, and 1 just roam around in the village, and that is why we need this sort of training. Yeah, lots of our dropouts just come home and married and do nothing. But because of education is a continuous thing, we find that we need to help our children as well, learning English.
Thank you, Knut.
Thank you.
I hope all your other people who see this can appreciate I'm sure they appreciate what we're doing, and we're always ready to receive more help.